Dear children, welcome to the literature class. Today we'll continue the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mummy, written by John Updike, an American writer. In the last class we came to know that the story focuses on a very significant moral issue, that is parents and children, they view life from different perspectives, and when their perspectives do not match, there is a conflict, and as a result the parents have to be strict, and when they are stern, children misinterpret their understanding and decisions, their ideologies. Okay, so here both the children and the parents, they should try to understand and respect each other's feelings and principles. Parents must explain their children why they have taken that decision, and children must also respect their decision, because whatever the parents do, that is always for the welfare of their children. Let us continue instead of discussing on this matter anymore. So we were at page number 51. In page number 50, Joe posed the question, what's a creek? Now a little river. Over the creek, and there will be the wizard's house. Now, as I told you, this is the plot of the story and it is very well known to Jo. So she can predict what is going to come in the story next, and at times now, since she was going through the reality phase, that is why she was asking questions. She wanted clarifications at each and every step when her father Jack was telling the story. Over the creek, and there will be the wizard's house. And that's the way Roger Skunk went, and pretty soon he came to a little white house and rapped on the door. So definitely the white house belonged to the wizard, okay, who was going to solve the problem. This is very simple language. I am reading slowly. I am sure you'll be able to understand. Nothing to explain right at this junction. Jack rapped on the windowsill. So actually Roger Skunk tapped the door, but here to give that effect, the father taps on the window sill. So Jack rapped on the window sill, and under the covers Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. Okay, Joe was very much involved. As I told you, she was very much absorbed in whatever was being narrated. So she was thrilled to listen to how the wizard was going to solve the problem. And then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hat and said, who could this personality be? None other than the wizard. Okay, you have that image of a wizard in front of you, and Jack also narrated his daughter in the same way. So, and then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hat and said, hey, that means what is it? What you want? What do you want? You smell awful. The wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. He did it by scrunching up his face and somehow winning through his eyes, which felt for the interval roomy. Roomy means watery. Okay. Now, while narrating the story, generally to very young kids, we try to put our own sound effects to make it more thrilling for the child. So Jack also, he changed his voice and behaved like that wizard, and made the voice in such a way that it was that of a wizard. He felt being an old man suited him. Okay, Jack always felt that he could very well enact the role of an old man. I know it, Roger Skunk said, and all the little animals run away from me. The enormous wise owl said, you could help me. Well, maybe. Okay, this is the dialogue of the wizard. Come on in. Don't get too close. Why? Because you smell very bad, right? Now, inside Joe, there was all these magic things, all jumbled up together in a big dusty heap, because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady. Okay, perhaps Jack here relates it to his own real life situation, where since the wizard did not have any cleaning lady, that is the maid servant, that is why all the things that he required for performing magical spell, all those materials were heaped at a place, and it was not arranged properly. The room was not very neat and clean, spick and span. So why? Why? Because he was a wizard and a very old man. Will he die? Since old people, did not survive for long, that is why again another question Jo puts in front of her father. Will he die soon then if he is so old? No, wizards don't die. Well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Okay, rummage means searched for. Okay, and he searched for a stick. He took a magic wand that the wizard and the witches always have in their hand. So, and said, what is your wish? Tell me, what do you want to smell like? Roger thought and said, roses. Because a child, immediately if you ask what is the best smell that you can think of, roses smell so sweet. So I want to smell like roses. Yes, good. Jo said smugly, satisfied, because she also had that experience of the smell of a rose. So she said yes, roses smell really good, and the child, that is Roger Skunk, must smell like roses. Jack fixed her with a trance-like gaze and chanted in the wizard's elderly, irritable voice. Now Jack again, put in his own sound effect. Abracadabra, hocus foo, Roger Skunk, how do you do? Roses, gozes, pull an ear. Roger Skunk, you never fear. Bingo! I'm not a good narrator, dear, so bear with me. Okay, so that was the chanting of that magic spell. He paused as a rapt expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils. Okay, so see in this paragraph, I'm going to tell you a number of things. Pay attention here. Okay, he paused as a rapt expression widened out from his daughter's nostrils, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin. An expression, listen, an expression in which Jack was startled to recognize his wife feigning pleasure at cocktail parties. Okay, now Jack identified a similar kind of an expression on his daughter Jo's face. Which expression? That expression which was not sincere and honest. She was feigning, she was pretending to be happy. She knew what was going to come. She took things for granted, just as Jo's mother Claire used to feign, used to pretend that she was very happy in her cocktail parties. But those were also not, honest expressions. Understood? And Jack always wanted women to be apprehensive, not to be in a comfortable position. And he was quite angered at this expression of Jo's, okay, because he could, find that similarity between Jo's expression and Claire's expression. He was reminded of that particular point of time when, her mother, Claire, used to give, pretend as if she was drawing pleasure out of the cocktail party, but she was actually not. She feigned. It was an artificial expression. So that's very significant. And all of a sudden, he whispered, the whole inside of the wizard's house was full of smell of roses, roses. Roger Fish cried. He made a mistake here. While narrating the story, now let us see whether Jo will be able to point out this mistake or not. I am sure children are very sharp at pointing mistakes. And the wizard said, very cranky, that will be 7 pennies. Okay, Daddy, what? Roger Skunk. You said Roger Fish. Yes, Skunk. You said Roger Fish. Wasn't that silly? Now, see, when Jack accepts his fault, still she is not ready to, spare him. You said fish. That is very wrong. Very silly of your stupid old daddy. Where was I? Well, you know about the pennies. Now, Jack wanted to continue with the story. No, neglecting that part where he had made mistakes. But, say it. That is the dialogue of Jo. Okay, Roger Skunk said. But all I have is 4 pennies. Now, I had told you that the wizard would always demand an amount which Roger would fall short of. So, he had demanded 7 pennies and Roger had only 4. Now, the extra 3 pennies, where will he get it? So, this annoyed Jack. Okay. Now, okay, Roger Skunk said, but all I have is 4 pennies. And he began to cry. Jo made the crying face again, but this time without a trace of sincerity. This annoyed Jack. Downstairs, some more furniture rumbled. Claire shouldn't move heavy only things. She was 6 months pregnant. It would be their third. Okay, now when Joe started crying, if you remember earlier, Joe actually found, with the help of his forefinger, he could trace that teardrop, okay, on Joe's which was rolling down along Joe's nose, but this time without the trace of any teardrop. That means Joe was not sincere in her expression, and that's what angered Jack. Okay, and downstairs again there was a sound of pulling the furniture, and immediately Jack's responsibility as a husband, okay, he was alarmed, and he immediately realized that his wife Claire was about to give birth to their third child, and she needed help. Okay, she should not pull those furniture at that point of time. Okay, so that was very significant. So the wizard said, "Oh, very well, go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well, and there you will find 3 pennies. Hurry up." So Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane and turned around 3 times, and there in the magic well were 3 pennies. So according to the instruction of the wizard, Roger Skunk obtains those extra 3 pennies which he did not have. So he took them back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out into the woods, and all the other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good. Now his problem was solved, we can understand. So the rest of the creatures in the wood, in the forest, they were very much interested to play with him, and he no longer faced the same difficulty which he had earlier. And they played tag, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, then hockey, soccer, and pick up sticks. What's pick up sticks? Another question again. Okay, so this you are habituated that Joe would be putting forth her questions every now and then. It's a game you play with sticks, like the wizard's magic wand. Okay, she tried to relate that the magic wand, that kind of a stick. Is it the game with which is played with the help of that kind of stick? Kind of. And they played games and laughed all afternoon, and then it began to get dark, and they all ran home to their mummies. That was supposed to be the end of the story. Okay, and somewhere Jack was in a hurry to complete the story, and he could understand the emergency situation that Claire was going through, and she needed his help. Okay, so he completed the story up to this, and Joe was quite sure that the story has ended. Now look at Joe's expression. Joe was starting to fuss with her hands and look out of the window because she understood that the story was over. Now she no longer looked at her father. She did not pay any more attention to him. At the crack of day that showed under the shade, she thought the story was all over. Jack didn't like women when they took anything for granted. He liked them apprehensive. He always wanted that women should be always in doubt. They must not take things for granted, and that is how he wanted to establish his power, his superiority over women, and that is how he wanted to reclaim power from women. So apprehensive, hanging on his words. Now Joe, are you listening? Okay, now Jack wanted to inform Joe that no, the story did not end here today. Are you listening? Okay. Now, yes, because this is very interesting. Roger Skunk's mummy said, "What's that awful smell?" Let us stop up to here, dear. We'll continue from here in the next class. Thank you so much. Read the story carefully, and you will come up with different ideas when you read the story. You will be able to identify yourself in such situations which the story relates. So try to think on them. Think in English if you can, and express it in English, because it's a language. The more you use it, it will be easier for you to understand. Thank you so much.